Good morning, guys. I am up before sunrise, which means only one thing. I am about to do a ship tour of the Allure of the Seas. Now, this is a tour before she goes into a dry dock for a big refurbishment. So I just wanted to show you what she looks like today. There are definitely places on board where you can see that she's in a little bit of a need for TLC. So let's get an updated look of what she looks like before the refurb happens. Let's go. All right, so I am now at the boardwalk, and I just wanted to update you guys on changes that I think will be coming to Allure after the dry dock. So they still have sabor on this ship. They don't have it on very many other ships anymore because they now have the El Loco Fresh, which is a complimentary Mexican on board. So they don't really have the extra charge Mexican anymore. I guess just there's no sense to double up on the Mexican. So I think this will change to something else. And where I just showed you where the arcade was, that's next to Sabor here, over there. And I think this whole area will probably change to Playmakers, which is a sports bar. At least that's what they've done on the Oasis. So I'm suspecting that they will do the same here. But let's see, we'll find out after the refurbishment, and let's continue checking out the boardwalk. The Sabor bar will also leave because they will put in the dry slides that come from up on there on deck 15, and they will come and make their way down, and the slides come out here on the boardwalk. So this bar will be removed for sure after the refurbishment. I also suspect that with the refurb, a couple of the places here in Central Park will change or be updated, but let's see, I'm not exactly sure what changes those will be. All right, I'm now on the pool deck, and one of the biggest changes that will be coming on Allure will be to add water slides behind me right there. That's what they did on Oasis, and that's what they have on all the other Oasis class ships. So I suspect they will do the same. That'll be a huge change to the whole look and feel of the pool deck, but that's where they will be going. That's the sweet sun deck that you see up there, and they'll have stairs that go near that. You don't have to go through to the slides from the suite sun deck because you only have restricted access there, but then it'll be in front of there. I also imagine that the kids area will change. They will probably update it to the same standard as on the other Oasis class ships. So they're gonna have some smaller slides, and then the bucket, the water bucket that fills up and comes down. So I think this old, more retro style will go away, and that will be upgraded as a part of the refurb. There's also a hot tub next to the kids area. And here, next to the sports pool, is a hot tub that is a good example of what I mean, that this ship is in a little need of TLC. You can definitely tell that there are like patches where they've already kind of like sanded down some stuff. I don't know if you can see, but on the edge there, there's definitely some rough spots that need a little bit of smoothing over. I don't know whether they're just gonna resurface the hot tub or whether they're just replacing them altogether. No idea, but definitely a couple hot tubs need some attention. Do you see the rainbow? Beautiful. Perfect, as if planned for this wonderful ship tour. Oh, I can't believe it. Oh. So nice. here is a little refurb that they've already done on the Allure. This used to be the Wipeout bar, and it's actually still called Wipeout by, no, El Loco Fresh by Wipeout, something like that. But I think after the refurb, it'll be fully done and made up the way all the El Loco Freshes are on the other Oasis class ships. But I'm so glad that we have free complimentary Mexican on board, because they have the best tacos. They have a really good cheese dip as well, and some quesadillas, just all the best Mexican things. They don't have the burritos, but I'm suspecting that's coming once they make the venue a little bit bigger to accommodate all the different selections. But so happy to see this already on board. And one thing I couldn't find information on when I was looking for it before our cruise, because I couldn't remember which side of the ship the smoking area is on. And I can tell you it's on the port side, it's on the left side of the ship. And a good way to remember it is that it's on the opposite side of the kids area, which makes sense. You don't want to be having a smoking area with kids nearby. So in case you're wondering where that is, it's by the pool bar on the port hand side of the ship, so on the left side. And just to add, the reason we were looking for that information was not because we smoke, but because we wanted to try to avoid it. We have our room on the 14th deck, so that's the deck right below the pool deck. And it's actually on the same side as the smoking side is now. And we were a little worried that the smoke smell could come into our cabin because we're almost directly under the smoking area. But we haven't had an issue with that at all. I mean, we can hear some noises from the pool deck during the day when people are like dragging the sun chairs or like running around, but during the night it's not an issue at all. We've had perfectly calm nights of sleep and we haven't been bothered by the location of our cabin. So we've been really happy with that because we did a suite guarantee. So we basically we let them pick our cabin. We didn't have any say as to what location on the ship we would get. So we've been lucky. We're next to a grand suite and an owner's suite. So maybe that means that it's a little bit more of a calm area for us, but we're staying in a junior suite this time. They've already upgraded some of the sunbeds to the kind of updated format, more color. And the suite sun deck is just up those stairs. There's similar stairs on the other side. Unfortunately, I don't have access to the suite sun deck this cruise because we're only in a junior suite, and junior suites are not part of the suites that have access to the sun deck. then I have just one last thing to show you guys, which is a little bit out of the way, so you don't run into it by accident, but it's access to the sun deck, which is on deck 14 forward. You'll see the signs for it. So it's great views up here, but you definitely have to hold on to your hat. It's super windy, especially today, but great views. There's bridge wings on both sides because we're just above the bridge where the captain is. But great views, and not always quite this windy. And I would imagine a great spot to come on port days to see the views. Whew. Let me try to find a little bit more of a calm place to end this tour for you guys. All right, so the rain is coming down, so the more peaceful place will have to be indoors. I don't want to get soaked again. I'm still wet from the pour down that started while I was on the sun deck.
Soon after.
All right, so the shower didn't last long. It's still drizzling just a little tiny little bit. But let me find a spot to just recap. I think this is just about perfect. So I hope you guys enjoyed the tour of Allure of the Seas. As I said, she's going for a major refurbishment shortly. Allure is a little bit of a unicorn in the fleet because of the delays in cruising during COVID. It didn't go for the scheduled dry dock, the big one that it was supposed to have, right, I think in 2020. So it hasn't had the same refurbishment and upgrades as Oasis of the Seas has, which is now the time that it will get them this spring. So let's see what all they do. I imagine that they might have even more upgrades since we're, a few years down the road. But considering that she hasn't had the planned updates, she's really, really in good shape. We can only see a couple places, like I showed you in the hot tubs, for example, where she's in the need for some TLC, but other than that, really in great shape. Earl always takes care of their ships, we feel like. We barely ever see any, messes or places that look rough. So really, it's been a pleasure even cruising right before it goes for the dry dock. We are now at the end of our transatlantic, very close to it anyway. We'll be in port 2 days from now. And then we'll have 2 port stops, and then in Barcelona we will get off the ship, and then this ship goes to dry dock. I think the dry dock ends in May. My parents are actually cruising on Allure after the dry dock, so I'm curious to hear from them what upgrades they can see and what they can experience when they're on board. But I will leave you guys with this tour now. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you on the channel next time. Bye guys.
About to leave, already packing. Come with me, I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know